Hi, Oddings. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire. I'm your Ate Sapphire. The internet has no shortage of paranormal games to play. Bloody Mary, the Midnight Man, they all promise to give you a taste of what's on the other side. But what if there was a game that could connect you with a deceased loved one? Would you take that risk? It may be tempting, but I suggest you don't follow in Megan's footsteps. And now, it's story time. Megan walked into her homeroom class one morning. Her black nails, Ouija planchette necklace, and horror pin-covered backpack set her apart from her other classmates in uniform. Her friend Rachel had her back turned to her. Megan grinned, slowly crept up behind her, and let out a deep, fake growl in her ears. Grr. She jumped. Megan started laughing, but Rachel was not in the mood. God, what's with you today? They found something on Tessa's computer this morning. It's been all over the news. Tessa Rodriguez, a junior at St. Regent High, has been missing for the last 7 days. But this morning, authorities have made a discovery that might offer clues to her disappearance. This was the last website Tessa visited before she went missing. It lists a set of rules to follow. According to the website, if done correctly, you will be transported to either heaven or hell, depending on where you will end up. Oh my God. Do you think that ritual actually works? Rachel shot her a disgusted look. A student is missing, Megan. You clearly don't need to do the ritual. You're obviously going to hell. Hey. Well, what if this was just a setup? Like whoever took her made it look like this website is what got her. Who knows? I just feel really bad for her parents. Her brother dies, and now she's missing. Oh, right. Did they ever find out how it happened? Total freak accident. He had a heart condition or something that just randomly acted up. The bell rang, and it was time to head to class. Megan couldn't stop thinking about that website and about that ritual. After school, Megan came home and locked herself in her room. She pulled out her laptop and searched where heaven and hell intersect. News article after news article popped up, speculating the disappearance of Tessa. Megan scrolled page after page until finally she found the original website. The black background with neon green text made it look incredibly outdated and insincere. She began to read the rules. Number 1. Go to an intersection in the street. It has to be 3 a.m. and you have to be completely alone. If any cars drive by, it will not work. Number 2. Close your eyes and cover your face with your hands. Number 3. Walk across the intersection chanting this phrase. 10, 9, 8, 7. Guide me on my way to heaven. 6, 5, 4, 3, unless the other realms for me. 2, 1, it has begun. Number 4, do not open your eyes until you've crossed to the other side of the street. If you have performed the ritual successfully, you will now find yourself in either heaven or hell, depending on where you will go in the future. Do not be fooled. It will look very similar to Earth. Number 5, you must leave the realm before 5 minutes or risk being stuck. To return, you need to repeat the same process, but starting from the other side of the intersection and walking backwards. Megan closed her laptop. Her eyes fell on her wall, where the program for her cousin Beth's memorial service from 2 weeks earlier was pinned. She had been found dead in her room after an accidental medication interaction. It happened very suddenly, and Megan never got any closure. Megan pulled out her phone, set her alarm to 2:50 a.m., and laid on her bed. Megan sat up and silenced her alarm. Slowly, she crept past her parents' room and out the door. She walked past her neighborhood park and a couple more houses down until she reached an intersection. She looked up and down the street to make sure there were no cars and no people. She set a timer on her phone for 4 minutes. When she felt it was safe, she covered her eyes and began to walk and chant. 10, 9, 8, 7, guide me on my way to heaven. 6, 5, 4, 3, unless the other realms for me. 2, 1, it has begun. She was still in her neighborhood. Everything looked the same. She let out a deep sigh of disappointment and began to walk back to her house. As she passed the park, she heard voices coming from the swing set. A pair of twins she hadn't noticed before were laughing loudly now. She continued to walk. "Hi, neighbor!" A man walking his dog across the street called out to her. Megan waved politely and began to quicken her pace. She entered her house and caught her breath. She walked to her kitchen to grab a glass of water. She flipped on the light and stopped. Someone was sitting at the dining table, crying. Megan turned to see who it was. At the table was Beth, the cousin she buried weeks ago. Megan couldn't believe it. The ritual had worked. "Beth, I can't believe you're here. I have so many things I need to ask." "How did you end up here?" I found out about this ritual and I wanted to try it to see if I could see you and Brady, he died from a heart condition. See, it wasn't our fault. We didn't do anything." "Why are you telling me this?" I thought you would want to know. You were so worried that something was going to happen to us or people would think that. Think what? That we killed him? We didn't kill anyone. His heart killed him. You are my favorite cousin, Megs. I was willing to do whatever you wanted, but you took it too far that night, and I couldn't live with the guilt. It was a harmless prank. You're still going to deny it? Even now that you're here? You really are unbelievable. But I'm not really dead. Wait, where am I? Footsteps and voices calling her name began to flood the house. Megan ran to the living room and frantically tried to open the window. The voices were getting closer. She managed to slide the window open and pop out the screen. She threw herself out onto the front yard and rolled onto the grass. Once she got back on her feet, she ran towards the intersection where she came from. Her mind was racing as she tried to remember what the rules were for returning back home. She passed the park, now filled with children, all making a beeline towards her. Her chest hurt, her legs begged for rest, but she didn't stop until she reached that intersection. She started on the opposite side as before and walked backwards across the street. But when she reached the other end, she felt dozens of hands grab her all over her body and pull her to the ground. Another student from St. Regent High has been reported missing. The disappearance of junior Megan Redwood makes this the second mysterious disappearance from this school. Authorities are looking into the situation, and if anyone has any information on Megan's whereabouts, please notify the police. If you don't want nightmares tonight, like and share this story and subscribe to my channel. Submit your own stories to StoriesWithSapphire@gmail.com. For more spooky, supernatural, and spiritual stories, listen to the Stories with Sapphire podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you like what you saw and would like to support this independently run show, head over to patreon.com/storieswithsapphire. Until we meet again, sleep tight.